Welcome to Meta Madness, a gaming podcast. I'm your host, Murtag B, and streamer extraordinaire. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking Call of Duty, Bioware, and Starfield today. But first, every episode I want to introduce a streamer or content creator and just give them a quick feature at the beginning of every podcast. Today's feature is Starlord001011. Starlord is a fellow streamer you can catch me playing Call of Duty with on the regular. He is also a father, husband, and has 3 wonderful kids. He's a great friend of mine. Starlord wants to take his content to the next level and hopes to one day be a full-time content creator. You can catch Starlord over on Twitch at StarLord001011. Make sure to go check him out and show him some love. If you want to be featured, or you know a content creator or a streamer who should get featured in this segment, please make sure to reach out to me on Twitter, X, Facebook, or any other platform, and send me a message with a link to their profile, and I will be happy to add them to my list. But without further ado, let's get into it. And let's just start off by talking about Call of Duty. So if you don't already know who I am a Call of Duty streamer. That's my primary game. That's the game I'm super excited to play. Every week I'm going live with that game. And Modern Warfare 3 is scheduled to come out November 10th. So with Modern Warfare 3, we're getting a new installment to Warzone, and it's going to be a great time. There's lots of rumors and leaks, and I'll touch on a few of those shortly, that I'm super excited to see where they go to next. So if you don't know, again, Modern Warfare 3 is scheduled to come out November 10th, with the early release betas happening October 6th on PlayStation, the rest of platforms to follow shortly thereafter. Currently, there is an exclusive agreement with PlayStation that allows them to get these sooner than everybody else. With all the hype of the game, I am super pumped to see what Call of Duty does this year. I, like everybody else, have my reservations about Modern Warfare 2 and what they did, and the change in the movement and the play style and just overall everything that they did for Modern Warfare 2. Do I think they got a lot right? Yes. I think they made it better for the casual player, and I think it needs to be better for the casual player. But in doing that, they ruined some of their competitiveness, which is unfortunate. Now, they could get some of that competitive back by, in ranked, having slightly different mechanics than in your standard game modes. But that's something that they have to kind of pick and choose and decide, and they could have done that, but they didn't. So hopefully with Sledgehammer taking on this next game, we move back to some of the old mechanics. And there have been some confirmations about some of the older mechanics, such as slide canceling, reload canceling, faster movement, more health. In fact, I think we're going up to 150 hit points in multiplayer, which is wild. No more dying to 4 bullets in regular, which is really awesome, and I'm really excited for that. But on that flip side, I feel that they need to make sure that they aren't de-catering to that core audience that made... So let's just take a step back here for a second. Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2019, is actually a prequel to Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 2, 2022, is the original Modern Warfare equivalent. This installment, Modern Warfare 3, is the original, or is equivalent to the Modern Warfare 2 from back in the day. So Modern Warfare 2, if you didn't play that game back in the day, that was the one with the crazy intervention quickscopes and trick shots, and everyone wanted to be a part of FaZe Clan. You know, it was a really good time. The high rise, you know, you go someone across the map on high rise. That's the kind of play style that I did. I loved that game. I played every day that game during the summer. I was in school at the time, and it is one of my most fond childhood memories. And I made some really great friends back then playing that game, which is super awesome. So in their new mechanics, I really hope that they cater a little bit more towards that old play style, which would be pushing back towards more the Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare 2019 and Vanguard mechanics, with the slide canceling, the quick scoping, the one-shot snipers, all that kind of stuff, which sounds like they're doing. Will they take it far enough? I don't know. The one thing that I really, really hope for is that snipers are true one-shot again. not requiring an explosive round to be a one-shot sniper. I don't think that is the viable option to keep snipers engaged in the Warzone game. So that's my personal opinion. Now, they have released some of the teaser trailers and game content for the campaign. I've played every Call of Duty campaign since Modern Warfare. I love the campaigns. I really enjoy playing through them. I think the stories are excellent for the fact that they're not the primary focus of the game, but they're engaging. They're relatively short campaigns. You know, you can usually complete a Call of Duty campaign in 4 hours or so. What's really intriguing me about this new campaign, though, is that they are bringing an open mission style gameplay to campaign, which basically means that you can choose how you go through and play that campaign. You can go through and play it aggro, get up, be aggressive, pick up an LMG, pick up rocket launchers, throw grenades, the whole shebang, have all the enemies coming at you if you want to. Or you can go through and play super stealth and replay the glory days of the stealth missions of Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. And the AI is supposed to be really powerful in this new game and to adapt to your playstyle so that you get the best experience possible. Now, I've seen a number of people and companies commenting on the fact that they are concerned that taking this playstyle, and it's almost a Ghost Recon Wildlands type style of gameplay where you can kind of pick how you go in, which is a fairly common gameplay nowadays. But people are concerned that this is going to be too far off from what Call of Duty has done in the past. And with the fact that they have had such buggy releases in the last couple of games, there is the concern that when you go in to play the campaign that you're going to have issues completing your missions if you don't do it in certain ways. I think that's a valid concern, but at the same time, I feel like playing more the way you want to play, it will be better. Like, I like to go in on veteran. That's just the level that I prefer to play at. And I felt like in the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, there were parts of that campaign that were extremely difficult on veteran. And had I been able to push through it quietly or stealthily, it would have been a little bit easier, a little bit better, a little bit more my speed and my jams. So I'm excited for that. It looks like there's going to be lots of vehicles in the campaign missions. So as someone who loved the stealth missions, I'm super excited. This also could potentially open up a new level of content creation for creators to do pacifist plays, where outside of whatever killing needs to happen in the main storyline, they go through every mission without getting a single kill. Knifers only, who like 9 Knives. Star-Lord is also a primary a knifer. Ghost of Caldera. They all potentially have campaign content now where they go through and all they use is their knife. They only do takedowns. They only do executions, assassinations, knifing, throwing knives, etc. So there's big opportunity there, I think, if they've done it right, which I'm hoping in the time that they've had to develop this version of the game that they have, but only time will tell. There is rumor that 3 or 4 major Call of Duty characters are going to be killed off in this release. So for you lovers of the campaign and the people who have connected emotionally with the characters, be ready, because this is supposed to be a big shakeup. And if they're emulating anything like Modern Warfare 2, the original one, we'll probably see the death of Ghost again. Possibly we'll see the death of Shepard again. I would be interested to see if we're going to see maybe Soap or Price get killed off in these games. Now, if they kill off Price specifically, they'll have a hard time pushing into the other Call of Duty franchises that contained Price if they so choose to do so. But who knows? They're going to do what they're going to do. Well, they've already decided what they're going to do, so we'll just have to hang on and see for the ride. Now, if you watched the reveal, if you played the Modern Warfare 2 in-game reveal, or if you've watched any of the multiplayer reveals that have been released by Call of Duty, you probably saw bits and pieces that looked like Verdansk. I believe we've seen Hydro, Prison. I think that pretty much caps the big main areas that we've seen. But I honestly do not think, in my personal opinion, that we are going to get Verdansk back. Verdansk is not going to come back in the mainstream Call of Duty lineup. It just doesn't make sense for Call of Duty to do that. It doesn't make sense for them to revert back to Verdansk when they got rid of it so long ago. They're bringing it back in Warzone Mobile, which I believe is set to release in January. But for them to bring Verdansk back in, I think they will get a huge backlash. Even though people are asking for Verdansk, I think they will get a huge backlash because there's already backlash about the fact that they've remastered and they're bringing in all original launch game mode or all original launch maps from Modern Warfare 2. So if they do that, if they did bring back Verdansk, which again, I don't think they do, I think you Verdansk lovers are out of luck, but if they did, it would have to be a perfect bug-free game because they would have had to do no map creation. Everything would have just been replating textures, upgrading graphics, etc., etc. So in theory, they should have been able to fix all the bugs, but I don't think that'll be the case. I think we're getting a whole new map that is going to be Verdansk-like with trees instead of sand. I know they've confirmed there won't be sand in the next game, but I honestly think that is where the map is going. I think we're getting a whole new installment. So I will keep everybody up to date on what else I hear regarding Modern Warfare 2 and the next Warzone installment. Sorry, Modern Warfare 3 and the next Warzone installment. I'm super excited for both of these games, and because Call of Duty is my main game, you're going to see me up and in there day one for sure. I'm going to pivot now to Starfield. So Starfield is early releasing on September 1st and full releasing on September 6th. I am absolutely pumped for this game. This looks like the Star Wars we've always wanted. Big, open world, amazing concept. Super excited for it. Now, for those of you that don't know, Starfield is the first new universe in over 25 years from Bethesda Game Studios, the award-winning creators of Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, and Fallout 4. In this next-generation role-playing game, set amongst the stars, create any character you want, explore with unparalleled freedom, and embark on an epic journey to answer humanity's greatest mystery. In the year 2330, humanity has ventured beyond our solar system, settling in new planets and living a spacefaring people. You will join Constellation, the last group of space explorers seeking rare artifacts throughout the galaxy, and navigate the vast expanse of space in Bethesda Game Studios' biggest and most ambitious game to date. You get to tell your story. In Starfield, the most important story is the one you tell with your character. Starting your journey by customizing your appearance, deciding on your background and traits. Will you be an experienced explorer, a charming diplomat, a stealthy cyber runner, or something else entirely? The choice is yours. Decide who you will be and what you will become. Venture through the stars and explore more than 1,000 planets. Navigate bustling cities, exploring dangerous bases, traversing wild landscapes. Meet and recruit the most memorable cast of characters, join in the adventure of various factions, and embark in quests across the settled systems. A new story or experience is always waiting to be discovered. Captain the ship of your dreams. Pilot and command the ship of your dreams. Personalize the look of your ship. Modify critical systems, including weapons and shields. Assign crew members to provide unique bonuses. In deep space, you will engage in high-stakes dogfights, encounter random missions, dock at star stations, and even board and command enemy ships to add to your collection. Discover, collect, build. Explore planets, discover the fauna, flora, and resources to craft everything from medicine and food to weapons, and build outposts, hire crew to passively extract materials, and establish cargo links to transfer resources between them. Invest these raw materials into research projects to unlock new and unique crafting recipes. Space can be dangerous. A refined combat system gives you the tools to deal with any situation, whether you prefer long-range rifles, laser weapons, or demolitions. Each weapon type can be modified to complement your playstyle. Zero-G environments add a chaotic spectacle to combat, while boost packs give players freedom to maneuver like never before. That was the description off of Steam for the game. I am personally so excited for so much of this game. First impressions of the game, it's got a super impressive soundtrack. The soundtrack's been released for quite a while. The game's been delayed a year. So the fact that we're getting this game now, I'm really hoping they did a lot to make sure that this game is really fine-tuned and there's not going to be too many bugs and we don't have a repeat of Cyberpunk upon release. But between the immersive soundtrack, objectives, ground and space combat, ship and base building, over 100 main planets and over 1,000 explorable planets, to the robust character creation system, I'm expecting there to be a lot of wow, a lot of pizzazz to this game. I'm hearing that character creation is potentially going to take people upwards of an hour for those who really want to craft their Starfield character. I am one of those people who will probably be like that. You'll probably catch me doing that on the first stream. I'm going to customize a crap ton out of my character and just go for it. Confirmed release that Starfield is also going to contain a Game Plus mode. What Game Plus is, for those of you who don't know, is Game Plus means that when you complete the game and you start a new game, you can actually bring bonuses into that new gameplay, new game playthrough with you. If it's not confirmed or anything yet, exactly what you can bring, but it is confirmed by the studio themselves that you will be able to do Game Plus after a full completion of the campaign. Now, in saying that, there is expected to be 30 to 40 hours of playable time within the game. So there have the main campaign missions, but they also have side quests. And these side quests, they're referring to them as activities. Activities is what they are calling these side quests. And activities, while seemingly insignificant when you begin them, could turn into some of the most robust, powerful, and amazing stories that can come from the game. Also, the activities could potentially be providing you with new gear, new equipment, new recipes, all sorts of other things. And the developers are saying to get the most out of the game, they highly, highly encourage you not to ignore the activities. Will activities be different from side quests? I don't know. Activities is the specific word that was used by the developers. So that is something that we are going to pay very close attention to. And you can expect playthroughs and activity guides coming from me as I complete them in game. Personally, as a content creator, I am crazy pumped for this game. The potential for content is almost unlimited for this single player game, which is great. Between guides, hopefully funny interactions, RPG scenarios, space battles, ground combat, player versus nature, player versus enemy player versus environment. There is so much potential for this game that as long as they have properly executed it and they have made sure that as much bugs and as much issues as possible have been removed, I think the potential for the game is huge. I am most excited for space fights and the weapons system. I'm hoping for a ton of different weapons and a very immersive space fighting experience. I feel like we have never really gotten really, really good air or space gameplay, especially out of Star Wars games. Star Wars games are like my jam. I loved in the original Battlefront 2 when they launched the space battles. Me and my best friend in childhood, we played the ever living heck out of those games. We loved Battlefield. Battlefield was probably my first big introduction into multiplayer gameplay, and I rocked that game. I loved that game, and we played all the time, all the missions, all the battles, good and evil, everything. We loved it. And I'm really hoping that this sort of space battle, well, not multiplayer, this is a single player game, can bring that same joy. Also, hopefully they have highly crafted random encounters that put stress on the players. You're flying through space and all of a sudden you have a pirate raid on you and you have to go into defensive mode really quickly, flip around and then hit the offensive to drive them off, destroy them, whatever it needs to be. Also, I want a frigate versus Star Destroyer type event to happen, because those were my favorite kind of engagements. I love destroying Star Destroyers when playing Star Wars, so I want something similar in this because I think that's epic. This is the next big game for sci-fi. Like, this is probably going to be one of the biggest games to come out of the sci-fi genre in a very, very long time. And I just feel like the potential for a huge audience to really enjoy an RPG game out of the gate is huge. So I'm super excited for that, and I hope you are as well. Let me know what are you most excited for in Starfield, if you're even interested in playing it at all. I'd love to know. Last thing I want to talk about is Bioware. So for those of you who are not aware of Bioware, Bioware has developed games such as Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and Anthem. Bioware is presently owned by EA. So EA owns Bioware. It's one of their divisions. And they've recently gone through a change in their company of an eliminated 50 roles within their company, including experienced senior staff, claiming that the company needed to become more agile and focused. So I personally saw this. I saw this before the announcement came out, because I connect with a lot of game developers and game companies and brands on LinkedIn to try and build relationships with those companies. And so when I saw all of these Bioware people who were like, I'm out of a job now, looking for work, it's really unfortunate. You know, this isn't the only studio going through restructuring right now. I've seen it a couple of other studios as well, which is unfortunate because some really amazing, talented people have lost their jobs during these restructures. And I get it, restructures need to happen, and I'm really glad to see that the game design and the game dev community seems to be standing by and is ready to take on these people into new roles with new companies, and really take these people to the next level. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see where these Bioware individuals end up and where they can really pop off and create new amazing content for the gaming industry. But I digress. Personally, I think they needed to restructure to remove specific staff that were either A, underperforming, or B, not pushing the company in the direction that the execs wanted the company to go. In my past experience working with companies, that seems to be primary reasons for these kinds of restructures that result in large layoffs, especially large layoffs that include senior staff. It seems often that it is a way for them to create pivot points for the company, which are needed. Don't get me wrong, absolutely required in order to move a company forward so they don't get stale and stagnant. This is, again, just my personal opinion. I don't speak or represent BioWare or anyone within BioWare, so this is just speculation. But I think they want to make room for a younger, more ambitious team who is willing to do what is needed for the company and for their bottom line, whatever that looks like. If the game companies make money and they put out great games, what do we care? We want them to make money because then they'll keep putting out great games. But I'm going to read you a portion of the letter from the general manager, Gary McKay. You can come up with your own opinion. And again, this is only a portion of the letter. You can find the whole letter on BioWare's website. In order to meet the needs of our upcoming projects, continue to hold ourselves to the highest standard of quality, and ensure BioWare can continue to thrive in an industry that's rapidly evolving, we must shift towards a more agile and more focused studio. It will allow our developers to iterate quickly, unlock more creativity, and form a clear vision of what we are building before deployment ramps up. To achieve this, we find ourselves in a position where change is not only necessary, but unavoidable. As difficult as it is to say, rethinking our approach to development inevitably means reorganizing our team to match the studio's changing needs. As part of this position, we are eliminating approximately 50 roles at BioWare. That is deeply painful and humbling to write. We are doing everything we can to ensure the process is handled with empathy, respect, and clear communication. With that last point in mind, I want to take a moment to explain how we got here and what we're doing to support our colleagues, and what it means for BioWare's current and future games. That's all of the letter that's really important to me. Gary goes on to say that it will not impact Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which is their next mainstream Dragon Age release, which I don't believe has an actual release date as of yet. And Mike Gamble continues to work on the next Mass Effect for pre-production. So the next Mass Effect game is currently in pre-production. Mike Gamble is the pre-production manager by the sounds of it, and he will continue to work on the game. So BioWare is going through a big change. Is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? I am not entirely sure. That is to be seen. We'll see what happens, especially as they release the next Dragon Age game. I personally really enjoyed the previous Dragon Age games from what I played of them. I haven't played a Dragon Age game in ages, no pun intended there. But it is an exciting time to be a part of the gaming industry, and this is just a small snippet of what's going on out there. Three small pieces. There's so much I want to talk about. There's so much I want to share, but I am going to wrap that for today. Thank you so much for tuning into Meta Madness with your host, Murtag B. I cannot wait to bring you more news and stories from across the gaming and possibly the tech industry as we move forward. Make sure to check me out on all platforms at MURTB, and I look forward to catching you on the next one. Thank you so much.